Well, Pete Carroll and Geno Smith lead the Raiders to the playoffs. Well, the Denver Broncos proved last year was not a fluke. Will Justin Herbert finally win his first playoff game? And will the Chiefs bounce back from that embarrassing Super Bowl loss? This is our AFC West Preview and Predictions video. Subscribe down below and let's get right into it.
Here's the problem in this division. The Kansas City Chiefs own everyone. But could this be the year where they get dethroned? And I feel like there is a good chance because teams below them are catching up. They have gone better over the offseason. But let's get right into it. Number 4 is the Las Vegas Raiders for me, and I have them at a 6-11 record still.
I have the Las Vegas Raiders here at 4 as well. For me, they are at a 7-10 record. I gave them just the over and the over-under looks. They're one of our obviously most improved teams, so I felt weird giving them 7 wins. But again, I will not be surprised if this team does make the playoffs, led by Pete Carroll and Geno Smith, because their offense is that electric. The question mark is, outside of Max Crosby, is the defense going to be good? It's essentially the Bengals, Trey Hendrickson, everybody else situation. I think this team was still a little bit better, I want to say. But Max Crosby, obviously top 5 pass rusher in the league, game wrecker, loyal as hell on top of that as thing. So defensively is the biggest question marks. Offensively, we know they're going to be a fun, electric offense. With Ashton Genty now added there as well. Brock Bowers, the second year, he's gone bald now, so I don't know if that's superpowers or not. Or
he's more, actually, it doesn't matter if he's more aerodynamic because
he barely
has a
hair
helmet.
Yeah, that too.
So it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, no, and like that offense is going to be fun. The question marks for me is ultimately the defense.
The defense here, here's the thing with the defense. The defense is way better than the Bengals. Like, their defense over the years have been a solid defense. Even under Antonio Pierce, the defense was pretty good. The thing with the defense is it's kind of the opposite. Like, you know, some teams have like everything filled out pretty good, but they don't really have a top dog. This is the opposite. They have a top dog. They have some good pieces, but like it's not there's not one position where I'd be like, you know, that's going to completely, you know, screw them over. But every position that's filled out for them, except for Max Crosby, it's just like, you know, solid pieces, just get the job done. But not really a game wrecker like Max Crosby is, which obviously puts a lot of pressure on Max Crosby because if he ain't producing, no one else is going to really help him and step up. They have good pieces. The issue is that, like, they're not, like, you know, top tier pieces. Obviously in the secondary, like, they're all solid pieces. Like, they got Jeremy Chin, who's a decent piece. He played well in Washington last year. But when you're looking at it, the main guy is Max Crosby. And if this guy's going, this defense will be pretty solid, probably maybe in the middle of the pack. But if he's not going, which is rare, like then I could see the Bengals level come out of these guys. But overall, everything else that's filled out for these guys is solid. Offensively, let's see what Geno can do, right? This is his prove it year. And he's wanted out of Seattle. They replaced him with Sam Darnold. So if Geno is that guy, if Pete Carroll is the guy that unlocked him, can he do that again? And lastly, just what can Ashton Genty do? And providing this run offense, making Geno's life easier, making Brock Bowers' life easier. So overall, when you're looking at it, the only weakness you see in the offense is in the wide receiver. Even though Jacoby Myers is a good wide receiver, they don't have a wide receiver one necessarily in the league. But overall, the offensive positions seem much more filled out than they have in the years past.
To that point, before I go back to the defense, Brock Bowers can be that Travis Kelce once Tyreek Hill left because there was no real wide receiver one there as well, right? And obviously outside of last year and a little bit of the year before, Travis Kelce was still very good at what he did. That could potentially be Brock Bowers at a young age. So we'll see about that. O-line, listen, Geno escaped Seattle's O-line. I expect this O-line to be slightly better than Seattle, but we'll see how he ends up doing it. He did well with the pressure and all that, so we'll see about that. Defensively, as you said, Max Crosby, for me, obviously, Jamal Adams is now reunited with Pete Carroll. Yes, I know Pete Carroll's an offensive mind, but I'm just saying, I don't know why the ESPN has him listed as cornerback, but I think he was supposed to go to the linebacker spot instead of the safety spot, because obviously we know how good he is as a blitzer, tackle guy. He isn't a good coverage type safety, right? So maybe that's why they're going to try him out at linebacker and see. But the other guy I'm looking at, like, listen, the Raiders suck at drafting for the most part. We all know that. So which is why Tyree Wilson, like, I know he was like, I wouldn't say he was a reach or anything like that. Like, some people thought he could have been higher than he thought. Some people thought where he went was perfect. He has been not, because obviously the fact that he's not on the starting line position, that's disappointing for a guy like Tyree Wilson, who was supposed to be very good. So can he step up from this year as well. I don't know how they're going to look defensively overall because, again, new coaching staff. So we'll see how that ends up being. But that is our number 4 team.
Before we move on to number 3, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button down below. We're posting NFL content weekly, maybe even multiple times a week. NFL season is almost here. So this channel is all about the NFL. So if that's what you're here for, you're NFL fans, hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the like button down below if you're enjoying the video. Number 3 team, I have the Los Angeles Chargers at a record of 10-7.
So this is where, again, similar to the AFC North video where you could see the 2nd and 3rd seed flip-flop. This one more so. Clearly for you, the Denver Broncos are not a fluke from last year. To me, I have the Denver Broncos here with the exact same record at 10-7. I agree. Like that answered my question from the intro. I don't think they're a fluke. I think they obviously upgraded defensively with adding Hufanga and
Dre
Greenlaw from the San Francisco 49ers. Offensively, they added Evan Ingram. That fills up the tight end hole. He was very good for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They added J.K. Dobbins, who's their starting running back. They drafted, obviously, R.J. Harvey. I don't know much about him, so I'm not going to say that. They extended Cortland Sutton. The wide receiver group is not bad. Like, obviously, they don't have, like, Cortland Sutton is good, but it's kind of like the Colts. They don't have, like, that number 1 guy that a lot of teams have. Question is, Bo Nix, is there going to be a big sophomore slump, or is he going to be a steady quarterback, kind of like how Brock Purdy was, but way better? Because like where he was drafted, Bo Nix proved many people wrong. I was obviously I don't know what you were like coming him out of Oregon. I believed in Bo Nix. He proved me right in that sense. Yeah, so like overall, like this team upgraded. They got better. They could have easily been in our top 3 most improved teams as well. And yeah, so obviously I don't know where you have them. Maybe you have them at number 1. I don't know, but. Yeah, for me, they're still a solid team, 10-7. You have them at, obviously you have them more, maybe tied at 10-7. I don't know if you're a tiebreaker thing, but clearly you have them at double-digit wins.
The LA Chargers for me, and I'm going to hone in the wide receiver spot, is obviously a big weakness. Keenan Allen coming back helps, but let's be honest, it's not Keenan Allen anymore. It's just like it's older and all that stuff, but
his last good year was with Justin Herbert.
Yeah, but let's be real. This is Ladd McConkey's position. As much as we, are looking at this wide receiver spot as a weakness, a lot of credit has to go to Ladd McConkey because what he did as a 2nd-round rookie last year was absolutely incredible. And now there's an expectation that this guy can step up and take over that wide receiver 1 role because he's shown last year that he has those capabilities.
And he was probably the only guy last year.
Yeah, and he was literally the only guy.
Like Will Dissly's their tight end 1, so that's not good.
And Will Dissly played good last year too.
Yeah, he played good.
Will
But he was
Dissly
known for a
But
catcher.
here's the thing. Rashawn Slater's out for the year.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big loss. Joe Alt's going to go to left tackle now, protect Justin Herbert's blind side. So obviously their O-line takes a big hit. So the Chargers are a team that, 1, we meme on them for, I guess, blowing leads. 2, injuries.
Yeah.
Literally, their team gets injured a lot. And Rashawn Slater being out from the beginning and for the whole year is not a good sign. Otherwise, offensively, like you're going to trust Justin Herbert. Najee Harris is still hurt, but I still believe that Najee Harris will fill in the shoes of what J.K. Dobbins did last year. And obviously you have Harbaugh, so like the run game's gonna be a big factor for these guys' offense.
You drafted Amari and Hampton.
And you drafted Amari and Hampton as well. So when you're looking at it, again, it's gonna be on Justin Herbert. Great regular season, terrible playoff game. But when I'm looking at it, Justin Herbert is gonna still get the job done. Defensively, they lost Joey Bosa.
Yeah.
Which is obviously a big loss, but another guy that's usually injury prone.
And aging.
Defensively, they're also younger. Obviously, Khalil Mack is still there. Derwin James is still there. Again, you have Harbaugh, which is obviously going to be a big help. But it's a younger defense. They've played well last year. They did the job. So I expect them to do the job again, realistically. And overall, when I'm looking at the Chargers, I just expect a similar season to last year. And overall, offensively, the biggest weakness is wide receiver, like I said. But if Ladd McConkey continues his steady progression, even if he takes a little jump this year, that's going to be a huge W for them. But overall, there are still some question marks, some injuries, and that's the reason why I have them at number 3. And before I move on to number 2, the comment that we want you guys to answer down below is give us your AFC West standings for number 1 through 4, a record for each. And even if you want to add a little description of why you have each team where, we would love to see that. We'll also respond to those comments as well. So drop those comments down below, your AFC West standings. Number 2 team, I do have the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
I do have them at a 10-7 record.
So you do have the tie.
So I do have a tiebreaker. And I also wrote down in the notes, they beat the Los Angeles Chargers in week 18 to overtake them.
Okay. Because you didn't go to, did you split them?
I split them, yeah.
Or do you know the division record off the top of your head?
No, but I didn't go into obviously too much detail, but I feel
you said
so.
that
I'm essentially having the week 18 game be like a literal playoff determining game, winning in type of thing. It could, honestly, they both can make the wild card with the 10-7 records. Obviously, when you go in depth into the tiebreakers, we'll see about that. Yeah. But that's not this video. That's gonna be a future video. Yeah. And right now, I have the Broncos beating the Chargers in week 18, causing them to leapfrog them. And in my opinion, have the tiebreaker and probably honestly be a playoff team at this rate, because there's only other teams that have competition are the Bengals right now in the other division.
For me, number 2 is the LA Chargers. I have them at 11-6. Is that right?
Bro's already adding another regular season game.
11-6.
11-6.
Okay, yeah. For me, I agree with you. I have the Broncos winning the last game, but for the Chargers, it did not matter. 11-6. Okay, so yeah, but going back to what you said earlier, the biggest concern on the offensive side for me is they lost Rashawn Slater for the year. But the good news is you have Joe Alt moving from right tackle to left tackle, so he'll protect the blind side. There's a reason why you drafted him where you drafted him last year, and even ahead in picking him instead of a guy like Malik Neighbors, right? We'll see what Trey Pickens does. They added Mekhi Becton, who had a really good year at the guard position for the Philadelphia Eagles, got a well-deserved contract. So yeah, to help the run game a bit, you helped your interior O-line there. We'll see what Najee does right now. He's obviously labeled out. We'll see. I expect Omari and Hampton to take over come real near the end of the year. Najee Harris, for how average it seems like he has been, counting stat-wise, has got the 1,000-yard mark every year, has been relatively healthy every year with the Pittsburgh Steelers there. But yeah, the biggest concern is coming to the pass catchers. But the reason why I have them ahead of the Denver Broncos, defensively, I think they're going to be fine. Like, they were good last year. I feel like they have the identity set. Offensively, it's going to come down to, obviously, Ladd McConkey. Can he portray the wide receiver 1 role? They brought Keenan Allen back. Yes, different coach, so it's not going to be the same scheme as he had with Staley and whoever it was. I think it was Kellen Moore in his last year, I want to say. But Keenan Allen had a really good year with Justin Herbert. They already have a connection. Yes, is he going to produce the same? We don't know. We'll see what it comes down to that, because he is aging. But they drafted Trey Harris for a reason. Justin Herbert, when it comes to the regular season, whether he gets pressured, whether he has the weapons or not, he gets the job done. Regular season, right? The question is going to come playoff time. We'll talk about that if that happens come January. So overall, for me, that's the big reason. Overall, the continuity. I know that both teams have continuity labeled for them. For me, Justin Herbert is the better quarterback. I've seen him do well at the regular season level. I feel like he'll do enough to get them to the second thing.
The reason why I have the Broncos ahead is in the offseason, they did clearly get better. They were an improved team, whereas the Chargers, for me, relatively stayed the same. When I'm looking at the Denver Broncos, adding in Dre Greenlaw and Talanoa Hufanga was absolutely massive, right? Because you have 2 Super Bowl experienced players, 2 playoff experienced players, and obviously Dre Greenlaw coming off his Achilles injury. I believe it was Achilles, right? Achilles injury from the Super Bowl, obviously, which was so unfortunate. Yeah. But that Achilles injury, he's going to be looking to prove something, because last year, obviously, with just like half the year he was out, he comes back, gets injured again, plays like 1 or 2 games. But overall, it wasn't the Dre Greenlaw we knew, because he wasn't able to get on the field. This year, he has something to prove. Talanoa Hufanga is a solid safety in the NFL. It's just simple as that. That's what he is. You already have Pat Surtain. Your safety, secondary group is already upgraded heavily. Nick Bonito, breakout year and a half last year. This dude had double-digit sacks, absolutely took over the NFL, took over the responsibility of being the top dog, one of the top dogs in this Denver Broncos defense, because obviously you do have Patrick Surtain. And then I'm going to flip over to the offensive side. J.K. Dobbins is a huge upgrade over Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams, ever since his rookie year, hasn't lived up to it. He also had a fumbling issue. He just wasn't going to be that guy to help out Bo Nix in the run game. J.K. Dobbins, last year was a prove-it year for him, but he also got injured, which is his biggest issue. Yeah. So if he's, again, healthy, he's going to prove it again. One thing he proved last year to me is his ability is still there. Like, ability is not a question mark. Now just availability. And if he is available, J.K. Dobbins is going to produce. That's just who he is. He did that last year. He's going to do it again this year. Courtland Sutton proved last year that he is a top wide receiver, or he is a wide receiver 1 in this league. And adding in Evan Ingram, who's a solid pass-catching tight end, is going to be a quarterback-friendly tight end, which is going to be huge for Bo Nix entering his second year, because this year he's going to have tape on him. This year people are going to be ready for him, because this year he is not going to have the surprise factor. But what he still has is Sean Payton. What he still has in continuity, and what he still has is a great defense and some solid weapons. And the Denver Broncos, for me, that's a reason why they edge out the LA Chargers, barely because I have them at the same record.
Yeah, so like at the end of the day, this is just a flip-flop of a pick for both of us, essentially, right? Because I have them one game apart. But coming down to our number 1 seed, and before we say it officially, make sure you guys check out, this is the last AFC preview and predictions video we dropped. So make sure you guys go check out the previous ones we dropped and drop your predictions of those on those videos as well, because we are officially done with the AFC side of things. And then hit that subscribe button and the post notification bell, because NFC is coming up next. But number 1 officially for the both of us is the Kansas City Chiefs. For me, it is at a 14-3 record. So for me, they don't fall off is essentially what I'm going to say.
I have the Kansas City Chiefs actually 2 wins less than you. I have them at 12-5.
So you made it close.
I definitely didn't leave it close, that's for sure. But I also definitely did believe it as the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens, other those 2 teams being the number 1 seed in the AFC. I have them at the same record. And like you said, go watch those videos if you want to know what the record is and who I think will be the 1 seed. But the Kansas City Chiefs, defense is still good. I don't need to we don't need to touch on that. Defense is good. You have Spags, you're set. You have Chris Jones, and you have Trent McDuffie. You're good. Golden. Offense. It's weird to say that offense is an issue for me, for the Kansas City Chiefs, but it has been. And I'm going to start off with Patrick Mahomes. Regular season wise, the last 2 years, he's not been very good.
Yeah.
He has really not been very good in the regular season.
There's a reason why people are having the debate, is he the best quarterback in the NFL?
Look, I know...
Or is he still the best?
I know the Madden ratings disrespect him a lot and putting him as, I believe, a 95. But they have a case, though. I'm not saying put him at a 95, but they do have
some ratings, sort of...
Look, that's the different part. Yeah. I'm just saying, you can't tell me the Madden ratings don't have a case of why he should be docked.
Yeah.
When it comes to playoff time, obviously this guy's clutch. Him and Travis Kelce are going to pull it off. And obviously Travis Kelce falls in the same conversation as Patrick Mahomes. In terms of last few years, his regular season has been absolutely dog shit. So because of that, the defense has carried, got them wins. But at the end of the day, they got wins still.
15 of them.
Yeah.
And one of the losses was in the last week.
Yeah. Against the Denver Broncos, where they put up 0 points.
Yeah.
Well, Carson Wentz started, so that explains a lot. But at the end of the day, they get wins. So they do enough still to get, win the division again. And obviously this answers the question, will they do it again? The answer is yes. That's one, I wouldn't say concern, but like one observation, I guess I got to bring up. The real concern I have is they lost Joe Thuney, one of their better offensive linemen. Obviously you have Creed Humphrey, you re-signed Trey Smith. They lost Joe Thuney to the Chicago Bears. Last year, the offensive line was a big issue, more so on the tackle spots.
You drafted one this year.
You did draft one in Josh Simmons, so a lot of pressure is going to be put on that rookie.
They have him at a left tackle too. So
what else can you really do? That's their only upgrade they have. So a lot of pressure is going to be on that rookie. But losing Joe is a big loss. It's just simple as that, because that interior 3 of him, Humphrey and Smith, was one of the best in the NFL. Unfortunately, because of their tackle issues, they had to move out Thuney to left tackle, and he did a decent job. But overall, the O-line really cost them the Super Bowl last year and was the biggest issue of their playoff run. And this year, it's still a big question mark. They haven't really done it. They haven't done that job where they did against when they lost to Tom Brady in the Bucs, and they literally got Joe Thuney, drafted Creed Humphrey, made sure they made an emphasis of improving that O-line. They haven't really done that in this offseason. So this is going to be a big question mark, in my opinion.
100% agree with everything you said there. I'm not even going to touch the defense. For the most part, they're relatively the same. We'll see that. If that actually is a concern, I'll be very, very surprised. Okay, so the ultimate question that you asked at the beginning was, is this the year the Chiefs can finally lose the division? For you obviously have it a lot closer than you think. You are not going to be surprised. I generally won't be surprised either. I won't be surprised if the Raiders even make the playoffs. I said that as well.
But you have them 1 seed locked.
I have them at 1 seed lock. I have them winning the conference in general because I think I have them beating the Ravens during the year. But
well, that's what 1 seed is.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, like overall, because like the Ravens and them have a tied record for me, so I didn't establish with a tiebreaker. This is the video where I'm establishing the tiebreaker.
All right.
That it is the Kansas City Chiefs. I think I've spoiled that in that AFC North video as well. The reason why I have a little bit more faith, one, that you said the Madden rating, right? I feel like Pat Mahomes is hearing the noise, right? He seems like the guy that like, okay, yeah, like you know sometimes when LeBron you hear shit, oh he's the best player, and then come playoff time, especially in his Cleveland days, the second stint. That's essentially what I want to see from Patrick Mahomes. I was banking on that last year. This year I'm banking that even more. They had 15 wins. He did not have a great year. He did not have Rashee Rice, and I'm not sure what's happening with the suspension this year. So far, I don't think it was officially announced that he's missing some time yet, but he was injured last year. Hollywood Brown was injured last year. You're gonna have those two guys back.
Hollywood Brown's still injured.
He's questionable based on this depth chart, but I'm anticipating them to be back right now. It doesn't say pop or anything like that, so we'll see. But those guys are at least for now, expected to be back at the time of this recording. Xavier Worthy had a really good year last year, right? So if all those weapons are back, you have a motivated Patrick Mahomes, who I believe should be in MVP conversations this year. Why? I have them 1 game less technically, and that's only because their division got harder. And obviously, they're the 1 seed; they're gonna be playing the tougher teams regardless. So for that reason, why I cannot say this is the year I'll say like, okay, if this is another mediocre offensive year, maybe next year is the year where Denver Broncos or the LA Chargers might overtake them, depending on how the year goes. But for now, I'm gonna bank on Patrick Mahomes' comeback. I'm gonna bank on his players hopefully being healthy. I'm banking on a Travis Kelce comeback for this 1 year. He admitted that he was a little bit distracted doing the entertainment side of things, right? So now let's see what happens this year. He's gonna try to, because he's probably heard the noise as well, right?
I mean, he did a smart thing.
Yeah,
he got Taylor Swift on the pod early, so now nobody needs to bug him.
Exactly.
I'm bringing him on the pod.
So overall, I'm just banking on this team on the offensive side of the ball, just to be playing a lot better.
Just be themselves.
The offensive line is very, very concerning. We'll see what Josh Simmons does. If Josh Simmons is good, then they should be fine, in my opinion. Jawan Taylor, stop false starting. Then, even though sometimes they don't give it to you, the refs. But I'm not even going to insert a ref joke here. Overall, we'll see there. The weakness is the running back position, in my opinion, but Pacheco still does enough when healthy, right? Like, yeah, he's like an average running back, in my opinion. But for this team, he does what he needs to do, and you have Kareem Hunt there as well, and they have Elijah Mitchell, who was in
San Fran,
and he was not bad for them.
Yeah, we barely got playing time because obviously you have Christian McCaffrey there. But yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs still rule the AFC West for the both of us, especially for you. But there could be a time in the next couple of seasons if they are not performing.
It could be this year too.
It could be this year. Honestly, it genuinely could be. It could be this year. But that wraps up our AFC West preview and predictions. Check out the video popping up to my right. That is our AFC South preview. That is where our favorite team, the Indianapolis Colts, play. And also hit the subscribe button down below, and we'll catch you guys over there, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.